Hey, it's Patrick Maloney here for Regular Guy Reviews. I'm going to review this Samsung refrigerator that I bought 6 years ago. I bought it. I got a great price on it. I got it at Best Buy, but you could have bought it anywhere, so I'm not going to blame Best Buy for this. Great refrigerator. Great price when I bought it. Actually, this is the second one I had. The first one that they delivered was damaged on delivery. The frame of it was bent and they dropped it off and the water was leaking everywhere. It was bad. I called Best Buy up and I said, hey, something's wrong with this. And they said, well, we can send somebody out to fix it or we can just get you a new one, but it's going to be like another week or two. And I was like, well, I just got it and it's already messed up. I don't want it. And they showed up and they're like, oh my God, that frame's really bent. So, they brought me another one a week or two later. No issues, no problems. I did make a mistake when I originally bought it. Let me see if I can flip this around. No, I can't. So anyway, so when I originally bought it, I needed to make sure it fit underneath my cabinet here, and it didn't. So I had to call a guy in to make the wall a little bit wider, which he did, because I wanted to make sure I had enough room on each side and in the back for it to breathe, okay? Because when you get a refrigerator, you got to make sure you have room on each side for it to breathe. They say like a ½ an inch on each side, but quite frankly, I'd give it an inch on each side, and they say an inch or two at the top. I think like 2 inches is good. And behind it, you want to have 2 to 4 inches. So if you look at this, my refrigerator sticks out kind of far. I didn't measure it, but I was in a hurry when I got it. So, it wasn't the biggest deal in the world. You got to keep in mind when you open a refrigerator door, the door itself is going to stick out a little bit further too. So you got to make sure that the refrigerator isn't so far in the wall that you're not able to open the door. So that's the thing. When I got this, it did have one dent on the front, which I was very happy about because it gave us the ability to put up this really nice sign and get a few dollars off. And it gives all the phone numbers of the people in our neighborhood, which is cool, and important phone numbers for our family. So, overall, I think the best thing about this refrigerator is the fact that the front's so huge and it gives us the ability to put many, many pictures on the front. Okay, now that being said, I'm going to get into the specifics of the refrigerator and things that went wrong over the last 6 years. I paid, I want to say, close to $1,500 for this refrigerator, which is not an enormous amount of money for a refrigerator like this. It's actually a pretty good deal. And it was a Samsung, and I've always bought Samsung products. I talked to the repair guy. I'm getting rid of the refrigerator. I talked to the repair guy, and he said that Samsung is an excellent electronics company, but is not an excellent refrigerator company. So when they first got into the business, he said they had all the top parts and their products were really, really good. But he told me that he's getting more and more calls for these Samsung refrigerators that are just crap in the bed. So after about a 2-year period with this refrigerator, the ice maker started to give us some trouble. And if you can see in there, it actually cracked. You can see a crack in the bottom there. And it's kind of stopped working. So that was not a good thing. But you know what? I dealt with it. That was not a problem. I got ice. I could have called up because it was under warranty and got it fixed, but I didn't care. I just used ice trays after that. About 4 months ago, after 6 years of service, by the way, my warranty was 5 years. And this is one thing that I did have an issue with Best Buy for. I never got a reminder email or letter saying, hey, your warranty's running out. Do you want to extend your warranty? My guess is that they found that a lot of these Samsung machines break after 6 years. So they didn't want to be on the hook for giving me a free refrigerator or repairing the refrigerator. That's my guess. I will tell you that I bought an LG washing machine from Lowe's, and they were relentless in making sure that I renewed the warranty. And something in it went in year 4.5. Some parts went in year 4.5. And when the repair guy came to fix it, he told me that the only thing that happens wrong with the LG washing machine is this particular part that's $150 and like $50 to fix. And he told me not to get the warranty because they wanted like $400 or $500 for a warranty on the washing machine. And he told me not to get it, just to call him. He has the parts on hand and he'll fix it. So instead of getting a $400 or $500 warranty on something that breaks like every 5 years, he said just spend $200 every 5 years and have him fix it. I was like, all right, that sounds good to me. But I think that if I had bought this refrigerator from Lowe's, they probably would have been relentless in sending me warranty update stuff. And I probably would have called and talked to somebody about these Samsung machines and found out that I probably should get the warranty. But anyway, I called a local appliance company. I'm going to throw, I live in Warwick, Rhode Island. These guys were very nice. It's going to show up probably backwards, but they're called God's Hands Appliance Repair. Very nice guys. This guy, Brian, was extremely knowledgeable, and he told me for that price, don't repair it. The condenser went in it, but that wasn't originally what went in it. What originally went in it, in the back of every refrigerator, is the cooling area, and they call it twin cooling because it has one side that cools for the refrigerator and another side that cools for the freezer. And what happened was the freezer side broke first, and the refrigerator side seemed to still be working. And so, again, I was going to call the repair company to get them in here, and it took me about a week to do. By the time I called, the refrigerator side was bad too. And what happens is, behind here is, if you've ever looked in your car radiator, there's like a hose that goes through here that gets cold and cools off the whole machine. Well, what happens is, originally he told me those pieces were made out of copper when these were originally put out. And copper, when you're using the same type of metal, it expands and contracts at the same rate. What they did was, to save money, the original piece that comes out of the condenser is copper, but when it gets to the refrigerator, they switch it over to aluminum. And what happens is, copper and aluminum do not expand and contract at the same rate. And in between the copper and the aluminum, they put an epoxy of some sort, he said. And what happens is, the copper expands and the aluminum expands at different rates, and the epoxy ends up getting brittle and breaking. It's called a closed system. So when the epoxy breaks, the Freon or whatever it is they're using to keep this thing cold leaks out, and you need to replace that part. So he said that part was going to be about $400 or $500 for the part, and then it was going to be an additional amount for the labor. And he said that he normally replaces the condenser because the condenser gets humidity in it, and and when that happens, it makes the condenser go bad. And he was listening to it, and then the condenser came out. He said, yeah, condenser's bad too. So he told me the full amount for repairs on this particular machine was going to be $1,500, and I got it for $1,500. And so I personally would like to repair an appliance, because I don't want to take this thing and have them thrown in a dump. I hope that they recycle all the parts out of it that they can. But I can't justify fixing it for $1,500, because if I fix the condenser and I fix that part, what's to say something else isn't going to go wrong? So at that point, I had to just say, okay, I can't do this anymore. So I'm going to show you the model number of this particular, I can't get this thing to turn around. The model number of this Samsung is, it's probably showing up backwards. The model code is, that's my serial number. The model name RS25H5111BC. My date of manufacture was December of 2015, and now it's May of 22. So I bought it 6 years ago. So it's 7 years old, but I've had it for 6 years, and I spent $1,500 on it. I can't justify getting another Samsung machine if it's going to cost me $225 to $250 a year. I expected this thing to last 10 years at least. So then it would cost me $150 a year for this machine, which I guess is reasonable for a machine. I mean, we can't expect things to last 20 years anymore. They have to make them so that they break, and then you have to buy new ones, which I think is kind of a garbage thing, especially since we're always, let's try and save the environment. Let's save the environment. So I'm not going to recommend buying a Samsung machine, a refrigerator again. I do love my Samsung products. I have Samsung TVs. I have Samsung monitors for my computers. But I'm not going to get a Samsung refrigerator. It's just not worth the money. And Samsung has a good website. So if you're having problems with your refrigerator, it gives you a list of 8 or 9 things that you can do to alleviate the problem before you have to call in a repair person to take a look at it. My suggestion would be definitely make sure you clean under and behind your refrigerator every 6 months or a year at the most. If you have pets, every 6 or 8 months, get in there and give it a really good cleaning. Pull it out and clean it, because your pet hair gets in there. It's like a blanket on the parts, and it creates a problem. So, but they give a list of 8 or 9 things to do. One of them was like not shoving so much food in there that the air wasn't able to flow. Well, that was another one. So like they give you some pretty good tips on the best way to keep your refrigerator running. I want to point out this other thing. My refrigerator says that it's 37 degrees right now, but I actually have a thermometer in here, and it's 70 degrees. So, like don't go by what your refrigerator says it is. And another thing that I noticed the guy did was he held down the energy saver and the lighting at the same time, and held that down for a while, and it gave him a code. So if you want to see what the codes are to tell you what's wrong, it's a code 37. Okay, so if you hold the energy saver and the lighting down at the same time, it tells you what error code it's throwing. I'm gonna push it again. Error code. Let me see what the error code was. There's some kind of combination to hold down to get the error codes. Maybe I did it wrong, but the way to get to the error codes is on Samsung's website, and this was throwing like several different codes, and that's what told him what was wrong. So if you want to find out what's wrong with it before the refrigerator person gets here, it was $80 for me to have them come in, which is reasonable, $80. They don't want to tell people what's wrong and then have them go buy the parts on Amazon and put them in or whatever. I mean, I totally get that. But if you want to find out what's wrong with it ahead of time, go on Samsung's website, hold the key combination for the keypad on the front here, and it will tell you a code number, and that code number will tell you what's wrong with it. So, so that's a good thing to do. Anyway, that is my regular guy review of the Samsung refrigerator. It did last 6 years. It did its job for 6 years. I think a refrigerator should last like 10 years or more. Maybe my kids left the door open too long and, screwed it up. It does have a sound that dings every once in a while if they leave it open too long, and you know how kids are. So just be aware of it, and if you're going to spend money on a appliance, honestly, if the warranty runs out in 5 years, expect it to die in 6. So after 4.5 years, put a thing in your phone that says "call company about refrigerator, extend the warranty if possible." If you're not able to extend the warranty, maybe call the repair company ahead of time before something goes wrong and say, hey, look, can you come look at this thing and do some maintenance on it? So I will tell you that the repair guy said that you cannot just add additional epoxy to these machines to close up the issue, because once humidity gets into the condenser, you probably have to replace the condenser, so they just crap out. So that's your regular guy review by Pat Maloney on the Samsung refrigerator. I'm going to do a review on my Sunbeam microwave next. So have a great day, and good luck with your appliances.